to For Weebs, that anime podcast. We, pick some anime, some good, some bad. We talk about it. My name's Leah. I will be your host this evening. I get the feeling, if I introduce myself next week and it's a new voice, it's because Leah finally decided to kick me off because I apparently have really bad anime choices lately.
Oh no, I won't. These are far from the worst anime choices, especially coming from you.
I know. That's so true. I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I was talking to Becca today. Becca, one of our other hosts who hasn't been on for a while, but I was just like, I think Liam's gonna kill me because I've been picking some shit anime, like even for the good stuff. And then I stopped and thought about it, and I was like, but I mean, I guess I always have. So what does that say about my taste in anime? I don't know. I'm not very good at finding.
You made up for it in other areas. Like the two animes you picked, they fit very well together. They have very similar elements, and yeah, it wasn't. Like I said, I didn't get like visibly angry watching them, so
that's true.
I'll give you like a C minus, maybe like a B minus. Yeah. Well,
I mean, before suspense, I guess, Liam, do you have any stories or updates for the listeners on anything?
Let's see. I haven't watched a ton of anime, but I've been slowly finishing Black Mirror. And Black Mirror's a real good, spicy show. If you haven't checked it out, you'll probably like it. No, it's a British show. They're like short TV movies, so each episode is standalone, and they're about like an hour long. Some of them are a bit longer. And it's like a near future dystopia, so each episode kind of has a different theme. A lot of them are themed around technology, some more around social media, like cyber terrorism and stuff. A lot of the episodes like get a little far-fetched, or a little, to use a university word, they get a little technologically deterministic. But some of them are like very creepy, like predictions almost of what the future could potentially be, and like very interesting, good TV to watch. So it's not anime, but I can recommend it.
I like to live in my ignorant bubble, so I'll stay with anime, I guess, for now.
Fair.
But I'm glad someone's watching it. I'll come to you when it becomes a reality.
Yeah, and of course I've been keeping up with the new Rick and Morty.
Yes. Okay, actually I haven't watched the most recent episode. That said, due to podcast time travel, there's a good chance when this is airing that it's over.
I'm Pickle Rick.
Season could be over. I'm Pickle Rick. Yeah. I mean, it's not Japanese animation, but it's animation. Yeah. My favorite.
What more do you want? I'm a pickle.
My favorite.
My new catchphrase is I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I wish I could do the Rick voice, but it's just so hard.
I know. It's the guy who does the voice of Rick and Morty is just a talented man. My favorite scene now of all time, and again, I know it's not anime related, but I have to say it just with Rick and Morty, is the episode from this last season after they just Rick takes Morty out of school and they go on that big adventure that takes 2 minutes of the opening, and then it's just them bursting into tears in the spaceship.
Oh yeah, that was a really good episode.
It was so good. I loved it.
I was not in control of that at all.
Yeah. We almost died. Yeah. Anyway, listeners who appreciate some more crude humor and want Back to the Future mixed with
nihilistic humor.
Yeah. Back to the Future mixed with space.
I don't know, it's a pretty unique show.
It's anyway, watch it. It's great. Maybe not if you're a younger audience, but anyway. Anime.
I guess it's pretty. Hey, one more thing going on in my life that's somewhat anime related. I did a block week course that was Japanese film studies.
Ooh.
And that was very interesting.
What'd you watch?
So, we watched 9 movies. And so we started at the earliest one we watched was from 1923, I think. And then the latest one we watched was Millennium Actress, which is a Satoshi Kon movie. Have you seen it?
No, but I know who he is. Like,
Yeah.
the
And that one
director.
was really cool because Millennium Actress has like a lot of references to like early Japanese cinema or just like the timeline of Japanese cinema. So that was the only anime we watched. We also watched the original Godzilla, which was
Ooh.
it held
Probably
up better
interesting.
than I thought it did. But yeah, it was so that was pretty fun. Probably like my favorite one. Well, I really liked Millennium Actress. I'd seen it like a long time ago when I was a kid before I like knew what was actually going on in it. But we watched this movie called Tampopo. Have you seen that one?
No, I actually really haven't seen much for like Japanese live
Mm.
action cinema, that sort of thing.
So get this. So Tampopo, it's like, well, it's in this. It was the first of this movie that was like a noodle western. So it's like kind of styled like a
Sorry,
western movie, but it's all centered around like ramen, and it's kind of like
that sounds
these
magical.
two trucker guys. They like just make a pit stop one night and go in for ramen at this one place, and they end up like helping the lady shop owner like make the best ramen on the block and etc etc. But it's also like there's kind of some vignette sketch comedy stuff throughout the movie, and it was really funny. But
Mm-hmm.
the two truck drivers, their names are Goro and Goon. So
Ah,
that's where the name of Goro and Goon, the restaurant in Calgary, comes from. Is those two guys in the noodle western movie Tampopo.
that makes a lot of sense because I always wondered about
Yeah.
like. I mean, I always call it oh my god, Goro and Gun because I mean I'm just white, but
Yeah. Well, that's
I always
like
kind of wondered what that was from or meant. So
yeah,
that's
I
pretty
mean,
interesting.
it's understandable. I did it too cuz that's
Hmm.
like the pronunciation in like standard western style.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you're writing those out in the Japanese
No, yeah, that
characters, you
makes way
pronounce it
more
Goon.
sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
For
that
sure.
was cool. I definitely recommend checking out that movie. It was pretty hilarious. There's another comedy movie we watched. I think it was called the American title is Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald, and then in Japan it was called Radio Time. But
Mm.
in Japan, Ronald McDonald is called Donald McDonald for some reason, and like there's a situation in the movie that I won't really spoil, but like they end up saying the name Donald McDonald a lot in the movie, but they're like
Hmm.
pronouncing it with the katakana, so it's like Donaludu or
Yep.
Donaludo
Oh my gosh.
Makudonalodo, and they say it like really fast over and over again, and
Yeah,
that was like
remember
pretty hilarious.
taking when I took my Japanese course or whatever, like just the first one, and my teacher, yeah, went over how to say McDonald's with like, like a Japanese accent and whatever, and it's like a freaking like
Yeah,
it just
Makudonado.
Makudono, dude. It's just like you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, how the fuck do I say this? Like, it's a mouthful for sure.
I think in Tokyo, most people just say like Makudo.
Hmm.
Bork, bork. Where was I? Yeah, so Japanese film, there's a lot of cool stuff besides anime. And yeah,
Hmm.
the professor like also does some scholarly work around anime and manga, so he did like relate a lot of it back to anime and talked a bit about the history of animation.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
That sounds like it would have been an interesting class to take.
So that's the
Yeah.
closest thing to anime I've watched recently. I feel like this week I'll probably get a solid chunk more of Boku no Hero
I was
watched.
just about to ask about that, yeah.
I think let me see where I am on that, and then what have you been watching anime wise, if anything?
Honestly, I'm failing at my weeb status right now. Because with school starting, I've just been just a little too busy for that. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ate at Kinjo tonight. Japanese food. Woo! Before we hit
What did
record, I was
you?
like, wait, let me finish my stick of Pocky. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very
you
weeb of
know,
you. I'll give you half a point.
thank you for my white girl weeb.
Hmm.
This. Yeah.
So I'm on episode 6 of season 2, so not that far.
Season 2? Whew.
Yeah,
I'm still on
you didn't
season
know I was
1.
on season 2?
Actually, I
Yeah.
think I did. I think I did and I forgot. So, all right.
Yeah. So tell us of what we're watching this week.
Yes. So again, I was like, I'm sorry, I feel like they weren't that good, but it's not bad. We'll get into it. Anyway, we'll start with a good one. And I actually do like this anime. Like, years ago, I saw, like, a little bit of it with one of my exes, but I, like, started somewhere in, like, the middle of the show, and it's been so long, and I was like, I want to go back and try it again. Anyway, the anime is School Rumble. So, synopsis here from my anime list. Just the words, I love you, and everything changes. Such is the nature of the bittersweet trials of high school romance. Tenma, a second year, is on the quest to confess her feelings to the boy she likes, oh my gosh, I make this mistake every time. She's on the quest to confess her feelings to the boy she likes. Kenji Harima, a delinquent with a sizable reputation, is in a similar situation as he cannot properly convey his feelings to the one he loves. Between school, friends, rivalries, and hobbies, these two will find out that high school romance is no walk in the park, especially as misunderstandings further complicate their plight.
What's the rating for this one on Mal?
8.04.
Yeah, maybe I think the main problem, this one didn't meet the hype for me. I think just because it was a bit dated, probably.
Yes, and which it makes sense where, like, back when I watched it, oh god, that'd have been, like, at least 6 years ago, and even then it's from 2005. So even then it would have been a bit dated. So now, but, you know, it's always different when you look back at things in hindsight, right? Because I definitely felt that this time. I was like, oh, this is a lot more, dated than I remember.
Very, like, it was, like, kind of bordering on sketch comedy. But, like, it was sketch comedy, but just kind of stayed along the same characters the whole time.
Yeah.
And, like, the only funny parts for me were really, like, the gangster boy who was, like, just kind of acting like dumb and cute to try and, like he ended up, you know, like, being a nice guy and, like, trying hard in school just because he likes the one girl in his class. Like, the parts with those two were, like, fairly funny. Just, like, the situations were, you know, decently funny. I chuckled a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like it felt like they couldn't quite commit to the sketch part of it yet, and it was a little, like, young teen girl related, because
it just felt very light,
because it really focused on like, Tenma, and, like, what I remember watching was more of, like, Harima, which is probably why I enjoyed it so much, because I just remember it getting really ridiculous with him. And then it also gets, like, way more involved with the other characters, based off what I watched anyway. So that's why I think I remember it more fondly. But, like, the first 3 episodes is kind of just, like, Tenma and, like, introducing her friends and kind of, like, hovering between I think, like, the tone they're trying to set. And
yeah, probably my favorite part was just so what was the girl's name? Tenma, yeah. Yeah, she, like, sees on her favorite TV show, which is, like, an Edo period samurai show, someone, like, delivers a love letter with an arrow. So then she, like, gallivants around town in this, like, archery shodo outfit uniform, and just, like, is firing arrows everywhere, but, like, her crush just keeps accidentally dodging them, or she misses. And so that is, you know, like, slightly funny because of its absurdity and comical nature. But,
absurd,
like, I was just really I was just really taken aback when, like, Harima, he's, like, gets in the way of the arrows, and then the show, like, suddenly turns to 3D animation while he does, like, the Matrix dodge over the arrows. I was like, what? Like, where did that come from? Like, it was funny just because it was so, like, unexpected.
Well, and that's what you want more of, right?
Like, yeah, because there's like no other 3D animation in those first 3 episodes. I
Well, I
don't
don't
remember
necessarily
what
mean you want
episode that
more
comes
3D
from.
animation. I mean, you just want more of the kind of like, what? And ridiculous moments instead of just a lot more of like Tenma, like pondering her
Yeah.
love and oh this. And again, I think for a younger audience, or if you're more like a slice of life kind of person, that the first 3 episodes would be like easier to get into. But I did enjoy
Yeah.
the skit with the eraser.
Oh, was that the one where he's like, "Oh, you forgot to write your
You
name on your
forgot to write your
test"?
name. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty decent.
Hmm.
I could
Yeah.
almost feel like there's newer shows like I think it's called My Neighbor's Seki, which is kind
Hmm.
of like a 5-minute episode sketch comedy style. That's probably like, or a show like Nichijou or Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto
Yeah. But
that
those are
are
also
almost like
new, right?
better.
So,
Yeah, but they're like they've kind of taken what the show has done and
mhm,
improved on it, so you might be better
yeah.
off just watching one of those, perhaps.
No, that's just, yeah, because like they're newer, right? So I mean, back in like 2005, this was probably gold, right? Like,
It's hard to
I mean,
say, but yeah, maybe.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you look at the reviews on Mal and stuff like that, like a lot of people just absolutely love it.
Really.
And I
Maybe
do,
maybe there's something we're missing
well,
in
no,
the
like
later
again,
episodes.
from what I remember, like it was just so long ago. I remembered liking it, and I think I even read a bit of the manga to see like what happens after it because it does get more involved.
Oh,
I wish I could remember more of the specifics, but again, I didn't watch all of it. Um, Actually, like one of my first cosplays was Tenma. Now that I think about it, because Andrew
oh,
wanted to go Harima, and I'd seen a
no
bit of it,
way.
so I was like, "Sure, let's do it," and we did. So I'm
How
like, I
cringy
feel
was
like
it?
no, it's actually really good. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. I actually think it's pretty
How
great.
old were
I
you?
bought the costume. Well, if I was with
Okay, you bought the
Andrew,
costume.
yeah, I bought the costume. Yeah. Excuse you, Liam. Don't judge my sewing skills. For all you know, I'm fabulous. No,
Yeah, yes.
I'm kidding. No, I definitely bought it, which was
Yeah,
a
no,
good
I'm being
choice.
a little judgmental, I'll admit.
I don't blame you. It's fine. There's a lot of cringy cosplay out there, but you know what? Props to people for trying it anyway. But I think I would have been
I don't have
like
anything against
17.
cosplay, but I'm just, yeah, being a dick, I guess.
It's all good. Yeah, I think I would have been about 17, 18 years old or
Hmm.
something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I think I was just disappointed because I remember it more fondly than what the first 3 episodes were. But
Yeah.
either it gets better or my taste has just really changed over the years, which could
Yeah,
definitely
that's
be the case.
interesting thought.
Because I mean, I usually don't like school anime at all. I just don't. Like, I did this episode because I was like, we don't do it that often, so I mean, we gotta cover our bases, whatever, but,
Yeah.
like, it's just usually so not my thing, and I remembered liking School Rumble, so I wanted to, like, give it a try again. And I think it's still worth giving a try to listeners, but on the plus side, I mean, maybe listeners, if you do try it, maybe just don't start right at the beginning. Just jump in somewhere in the middle, and like you really don't need a whole lot of background.
Yeah,
Like
the first the first episode, was there a lot of like just setup and introduction? I feel like
pretty
there was.
much, yeah. Like
Yeah. You could probably like watch maybe the third or like fifth episode or something, or even
yeah,
like a few minutes of it. If it feels like something you might enjoy, then maybe pursue it a bit more. If you're
yeah,
kind of on the fence about it, maybe try a different school anime.
yeah, or like another what was the word? Like sketch kind of anime, like
Sketch comedy.
sketch comedy. Yeah, because I mean, School Rumble, it's 26 episodes, so I mean, I
Hmm.
wouldn't start too late, but yeah, I feel like you could probably skip the beginning because then it, I think it, gets to more of the like real shenanigans. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't know, I just remember liking it, so I'm curious. I might go back and like do the same. I might just go pick a random episode somewhere halfway through and see how it is and kind of see if it's just my taste that's changed or if it actually gets better. And maybe I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling this one.
Yeah, no, I don't
Like
blame
I
you.
wasn't. I was like thinking like, yeah, this could be good if you like watch a bit more of it. But I'm just, it's just like, it's not good enough to put on the list with all the other stuff.
No, and exactly when there is so much other stuff like this now, and like ones that are more
I could, yeah, it's
like
like I could be watching
romance
Sakamoto.
and yeah, it's like a little less romance in the girly feels, and it's more like actual just the humor and you know that sort of thing. That said, that freaking theme song has been stuck in my head all day, and the second I heard it again, I was like, I still remember this like freaking 7 years ago. Like,
Yeah,
like,
that's definitely just you. I'm not feeling that.
I know, but it's just I don't know why. So stuck in my head. It's bad. Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else to say
I don't think so.
on this one?
I think it's kind of a like form your own opinion show, maybe. Skip
You
ahead,
don't say.
just skip the dry stuff, and yeah. Obviously, a lot of people really do love it. Like, it's got like 10s and 9s and everything on its reviews. So, I think it's kind of like a niche anime.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the other anime, also school related. It has a 6.88 on Mal. It's everything I usually hate in an anime. Not gonna lie. Or pretty close, anyway.
You literally brought this on yourself.
I know. I was hoping School Rumble would make it better. Anyway. Alright, so the anime is called Hitohira. It's from 2007. A transfer student, Asai Mugi, is a painfully shy girl. She's so shy that she can't speak when she becomes seriously nervous. However, for some reason, she's spotted and recruited as a member of the drama club. But to reiterate, it's actually not the drama club, it's Drama Research Society?
Yeah, but I was like, how does that even exist?
Yeah, like, because the whole premise that you learn is, well, yeah, not only does the main character get recruited to join this club, it's because this club is gonna, the Research Society, Drama Research Society club is gonna get shut down because they don't have enough members, so they pull her so that it has enough members so they can try and, like, save their group, because the actual drama club is a lot bigger and does a lot better, so. What'd you think, Liam?
It started off very similar to School Rumble, and then it was just like, I felt like I was just so detached from the target audience of this show. I was like, so the main character is a girl that's just like gets so nervous she can't even talk. And I don't know, she joined the drama club. And it's like, oh, crazy.
I know the whole time I was watching it, even at the beginning, and especially because I watched it after School Rumble, which had already been like a letdown for me because it wasn't like as good as I remember. And again, I already don't watch a lot of school anime stuff like this, right? The whole time I'm just like, oh my fucking god, I don't care. Like, fuck, like, I get it. You feel shy. This other girl sees something in you and wants her in the group, and she's all philosophical. And then you have the angry girl, and there's just 8 million tropes happening here, and all the frickin' tsundere-like character schemes are happening, and, like, I just don't care. I just, nope. That's how I felt. Like, nope, don't care.
Yeah, and it was like, the only like mildly interesting part is like, oh, this like girl is like who's trying to recruit the main character to the Drama Research Society, the like short hair girl who like comes on to her kohai like in a very suggestive manner. I was like, is the show gonna have hints of Yuri? Maybe that's like one of the only.
I was definitely getting those vibes.
It's like one of the only exciting things that happened. The rest is like pretty generic. Like, yeah, senpai-kun.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be more exciting if it did have some of those vibes. They just full on went for it. But I know, and I was also getting a lot of like the whole plot in general, like, was giving me some really strong, like, Haruhi Suzumiya vibes. I don't know if you've ever seen
Okay.
that anime.
I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it.
And that one's actually like quite enjoyable, like for being
Yeah, yeah.
like a school anime, and it is about a club and like a more obscure one and whatever. So the whole time I was just like, if I was gonna be watching this shit, I'd be watching Haruhi Suzumiya, and I'd be much happier. Like, oh, it's just everything that I don't ever look for in anime. I'm not even saying it's bad. Like, the whole, like, some people obviously love school anime and love slice of life and love a lot of the typical character archetypes and whatever. That's fine. That's great. But I avoid them like the plague because I just don't give a shit.
Fair.
Yeah. That's my rant. What's your rant?
I already kind of said it. It was just like,
Yeah.
just so not my thing. But it did, like, it matched with School Rumble very well. Like, it's definitely not as good as School Rumble.
No.
This is
God.
just, like, felt much lighter, much more, superficial.
Mm-hmm.
Like, senpai, notice me, please. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu. Yeah, pretty much. That just sums it up. Like, it's just... And especially for the, like, actual, like, you know, avid anime watcher, you're going to watch about 5 minutes of the show, and you're going to be like, I already know exactly what's going on. I know exactly who everyone is. I know how this is going to go. Goodbye. The whole time I was watching it, I'm like, we're not going to have a whole lot to discuss about this one. I could have happily just been like, done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makudonarudo de dato ni ikimasen ka? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
think that's all
understood
we need
most of that. I know it was a
I was
question.
saying, like, do you
McDonald's,
want
like
to
a date McDonald's?
do you want to go
Yeah.
on a date to McDonald's?
Okay, that's what I thought you said. And I was like, yes, please, if it means I don't have to watch any more of this show. Oh, God.
I was
Like, I
just
almost
saying
didn't
it
even
to
finish
represent the...
I know.
Oh, yeah, it was hard to get to.
It's fine. Yeah,
I was like halfway through the second episode, and then I like kind of moved the mouse so I could see how much was left, and I was like, oh, I still have half an episode left.
Well, again, it's like I don't even, and even right now, I don't even know why I really even bothered watching it. Like, you don't need to. You know exactly what's going on after 2 seconds. Could write the episode. Oh, yeah. I don't recommend this one, because honestly, even if, like, slice of life and school and all that jazz is your thing, there is better out there than this. So go find it.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap things up on the high school
please stop
stuff
me
then?
from ranting.
Please. Okay.
I'm sorry, Leah, I'm making you watch boring shit and then ranting
No,
to
it's
you
all
about
right.
it after.
We can't just, be nostalgia or that we have to find the obscure stuff sometimes.
That's true.
That's what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just bringing up this stuff for my picks. Oh geez, finding the name for this is hard. Okay, actually, no, I know I'm gonna work my way around this. So, the theme for the next episode, I was gonna do fall 2017 anime like we usually do, but a lot of the shows haven't actually started yet. They start kind of in like a couple weeks, but we did casually skip over summer 2017, and apparently there's some good stuff. So we're gonna do that. So it can be the same deal like we usually do, like watch whatever you think is appealing from the season, but just keep it around try and watch like at least 4 episodes, we'll say. That's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
But I think from my friend David Senpai, who was in the Otafest video, shout out to your boy David. he recommended this one called Knights and Magic, where he says it's like a isekai show like Re:Zero or Konosuba, except it's this like really smart programmer otaku gets teleported into this fantasy world where there's like, and this otaku is like obsessed with mecha, and apparently gets transported into a fantasy world where there are like a bunch of fantasy mecha. So that just sounds like a proper ridiculous anime concept, right?
Yes. One that's more up our alley.
Yeah, let's watch at least, each of us watch at least one episode of that.
Sure.
And he also recommended we check out Restaurant to Another World. Or Restaurant to Another World. I remember
reading about that one, yeah.
And I was having troubles bringing that one up. And I don't really know what it's about, but I feel like the title is enough to just get me to check out the first episode at least. Restaurant to Another World. I remember seeing Crunchyroll promote it a little bit. So
is it Isekai Shokuro?
Was that what you see on Mal right now?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Shokudo, that looks like it. Yeah, that's definitely it. Isekai Perfect. Shokudo.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes, both this one and Knights and Magic have like around the 7.3 rating. So we'll see what happens. Go from some old high school anime to some new like ridiculously fantasy anime. We'll see what happens.
It's the beauty of the anime world. You got everything. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Nice chatting with you. Thanks for listening, Weebs. Catch you next time.
Bye.